Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of Industry News. As you saw in the title, Saris. Now this is a company that's been around 45 years. And they are experiencing COVID whiplash. Let me see if I can explain this term in a different way. If you think about a pendulum, like let's say on a grandfather clock, and you see it swing one way and then it swings back the other way. Well, this is what's happening. So when it was swinging in this direction, no inventory, very high demand. Swings back the other way, lots of inventory, low demand. So this is one of those situations where the indoor cycling market, trainers, Peloton, Zwift, all these kinds of things were on fire. That market segment was insane. You couldn't go outside, you couldn't go to a gym, you couldn't go to all these other places. So what did you have? You had to do something inside your house for a period of time, whatever it was in whatever country you were in. Well, now, and actually, going back even a few more months, there's just way too much inventory. And so they have filed for voluntary debt consolidation under Wisconsin law, which is Chapter 128, and it's administered by the district court system. So tons of stuff going on. So what they're trying to do is reorganize their debt, their company, and they're trying to get themselves ready to sell to someone else. I'm curious who would want to buy a company who has excess inventory and has poor management in the sense of, you should have seen this coming. We're not going to be locked down forever. Anyway, so like I said, this company's been around for 45 years, so it's not a Johnny-come-lately indoor trainer company. Now, they make indoor trainers. They make, I'm not really familiar with the Saris infrastructure side of their business. And then, of course, I know their bike racks because I've sold a lot of them, and I actually have one, a Bones 3 rack from way back. And it's a great rack. It's very adjustable, and you can put it on any vehicle, and it's a great rack. But so the rack business is doing fine, and the Saris infrastructure business is doing fine, but their indoor cycling, indoor trainer business is not doing so well. Now, the products, they test well, they review well by people like DC Rainmaker and several other channels that I watch. So they do well. It's just too much inventory. And so one of the analogies that the CEO gave, and let me see if I can quote it exactly, has to do with a twin-engine plane. And he says, we're like a twin-engine plane when one engine dies. It's all connected. So if you have, one out of 3 market segments doing poorly, it affects the whole business. So let's check a couple of notes here. And this is something I've seen coming down the line. The bike boom is basically over, and they claim spring, but it was over even before spring, in my opinion. And I've had to watch my inventory like a hawk. And I'm nervous. There is quite a few things in this store that I don't like to carry as much of it, but I have it now. And generally, it's I err more on the side of, okay, that's a wear and tear item. I'll sell through that. So chains, brake pads, tires, things like that. Hard goods that don't wear and tear or don't get purchased over and over again, like an indoor trainer, I don't have any in the shop, and I will never carry any in the shop. And what's interesting is the reps are constantly saying, hey, you need to keep this in stock. You don't want to have a customer wait. They'll go somewhere else for it. And I'm like, then that's not my customer. My customer trusts my opinion. They trust my recommendation. I order the product for them exclusively, and they pick it up from me, and then I provide all the customer service that they expect for buying a $1,000 unit, right? So now Wahoo, Zwift, and Peloton. Now I've done a video on Peloton because Peloton also has gone through some significant issues. Their stock price up here, now down here. Zwift, tons of layoffs. I think the last report I saw was 150 staff were laid off, and they were in the process of designing an indoor trainer as well, and that's been shelved. So just so you understand that this isn't just Saris. This is anything really associated with indoor trainers and any type of software as well that goes with that. So they're trying really hard not to lay anyone off. And, they're from the Midwest. They're from Wisconsin. So I know that they will make every effort to do that. And one of their lawyers says, we're trying to keep the payroll going. We're trying, the lender that Saris uses, they're trying to keep the payroll, and they're trying to keep all the operating expenses so that they can keep the business running. I want to know who would want to purchase this company, and at what point. I mean, how desperate are they going to wait for Saris to be before they accept an offer for someone to purchase them? I think they have a reputable name, and I think whoever purchases them probably will do some good with the company. I hope they don't just go in and just slash all the staff and but whatever. Business is business, right? Let's see. What other things should I talk about? Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they are getting themselves ready to sell like in the next 60 days. So stand by for more update on this. And a couple other things that I wanted to talk about is, the indoor market. I mean, I guess if your winter is so harsh that you can't be outside, and I completely understand that. But on a personal level, I don't like trainers. I don't like Peloton bikes. I don't like those kinds of things. I'd rather be outside. I am in Southern California, so please take that with a grain of salt. But, people that claim to be riding all these miles or doing all this elevation gain, and then I look on their Strava and it's all indoor stuff, I kind of say, well, you're not experiencing any of the weather conditions, whether that be heat, wind, or cold, or potholes and crashes and cars and dogs and all that stuff. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a rant. We're going to leave that alone for now, but stay tuned because I'm very interested what's going to happen with Saris. And Saris had purchased PowerTap moved on, and I mean, there's just all the industry is in this state of flux. Okay, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe. If you want to hear more about Saris, I'm sure there'll be some upcoming news. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you up the road.